Hi everyone, I'm Deanne from Newfoundland, Canada. Welcome to my Flosstube channel, Stitching on the Rock. We are at episode 73. It's May 11th. Happy Mother's Day to anyone who is celebrating. Happy birthday to me. Welcome if you're new. I know I had a few new subscribers from the ladies from the spring mingle. It was nice meeting you all and chatting and stitching with you. Welcome. And if you're new and just checking me out, I hope that you will subscribe. What's been going on? Apologies to my regular subscribers that I'm a week behind. I'm also way behind on my Flosstube watching. I'm so sorry. But it seems like this past week, it was just like go, go, go. Well, I needed Monday to recover because I spent all weekend sitting here in my chair. My son was at his dad, so it was me and the cat in the chair. And that was about all that happened last weekend. And then we had a meeting with the college. We had, I had dentist appointment. Aaron had tests to study for. It was just errands here, there, and everywhere. We were trying to get his suit figured out for his graduation. We went and got it, but they needed to order in a jacket because he needed the short instead of the regular, so we had to wait. That came in, so we had to go and try it on, and while we were there, we decided we wanted his pants hemmed up, so they're hemming his pants, which means we have to go back and try everything on again to make sure the pants are the right length. It's just never ending. What else was going on? I don't know. I just felt like I didn't stop long enough to think about doing a video. My mom and my sisters and I went to brunch on Thursday for celebration of my birthday and Mother's Day because you won't get near a restaurant today. We're actually having a barbecue at my sister's this evening, which will be nice. Aaron went and had an event with Special Olympics yesterday. I'll stick a couple of pictures at the end of that in the brunch. Brunch was delicious. I might as well go back to that. It's a little restaurant downtown called the Bagel Cafe. A tiny, tiny place. I'd say maybe they have 10 or 12 tables at the most, but they do an all-day breakfast. And every time I go, I order apple walnut French toast. Oh my gosh, I couldn't even finish it all. And then my sister happened to mention that we were celebrating my birthday, and at the end, the waitress came with a piece of cake and a candle in it, and 4 forks. And of course, one sister wouldn't eat any, and the other one only had a forkful. So Mom and I shared most of it. It was apple spice cake and caramel, and it was so good, so good. Yeah, I have something I need to show you guys. Indulge me for a minute because it's a proud mom moment. My son's graduation pictures came. They're on the floor because I didn't want to get them wrinkled. Oh. Choosing which ones out of the proofs was impossible, but the one that everybody loved and he had the nicest smile on, they cut off the bottom point of the sash that you know what I'm talking about, and I didn't want that one on my wall with it cut off. I thought it looked odd, but I didn't mind giving it to everybody else. But this is the one I chose for my wall, and I have a frame. I just haven't got a frame put in the frame, so I just love that. I can't believe I have a high school graduate. And then my mom always gets one of his school picture, an 8x10, and she wanted one with his hat on, and I'm like, the nicest one was this one, and I actually ordered a 5x7, so I put it and have it on the end table or something, and it's this one. And with this, he's got a great smile and looks really happy. So she's getting that one, and I, like I said, got a 5. And then everybody else is getting this one, which out of all the proofs, he had the nicest smile. But like I said, I didn't want it on the wall with that cut off, but I don't mind sending it to everybody else. So, yeah, proud mom. And the only other thing I wanted to tell everyone who's been here listening, and I've heard this much about my nephew and his surgery, his kidney transplant surgery. And so he got diagnosed with a disease that I can never remember the name of, and I'm sorry, it begins with a B, I know that. I guess about, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 years ago, I can't remember when, him and his wife now, but his girlfriend at the time, were buying a house and getting insurance for the mortgage, I guess, and he had to have a physical, and they discovered this disease that he knew nothing about and never felt any issues because of, active sports player, on the go all the time. And so it was something that, protein or something that attacks the kidneys, or I wish I knew all the details to tell you. But basically, he said you're eventually going to need a kidney transplant, and so his kidney function right now is at 9, and they were actually in the process of consultations to get a dialysis port put in case he didn't get a transplant. And so he put up on Facebook a page, and basically said, I have this and I'm going to need a kidney transplant, and if you're interested in being tested for a donor, here's the number you call for the hospital transplant team to get it set up, and just tell them you're interested in being tested as a donor for me. And this lady in their community read the post through, I guess, a mutual friend or whatever, and said, I'm going to get myself tested. And turned out she was a perfect match. And so he didn't know. He knew someone was being tested that wasn't a family member. Like his twin brother was being tested as well, but he wasn't as good a match as she was. And so this lady called and said, can I come see you? And she came in and basically said, yeah, I'm here to let you know that I'm going to be donating my kidney to you. And him and his wife were shocked because they knew someone was being tested, but they didn't know who or what, or if it had been confirmed or whatever. And then like a week later, he got the call saying, yep, we have a match and your surgery is for the 4th of June. And if there's a cancellation, it will be booked to the 21st of May. And last week they called and said, yeah, we've had a cancellation, and it's going to be the 21st of May, which is amazing. And really exciting and really scary for all of us. And so my sister and brother-in-law are going up next week to be up there for, we don't know how long right now, but he's got to be in the hospital a week after the surgery, and he's got to stay, because they don't live in the same community as the hospital, stay there for a month or 2 after to monitor him, and so yeah, keep him in your thoughts, please. Okay, now that I'm all emotional, on to the stitching, because that's what you guys are all here for. So for those of you who are new, and if you're just checking me out for the first time, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe. I'm starting 55 things because I'm turning 55 today. So I've divided my whips into pre-2025 and current year whips. This time I only have one pre-2025, and it's River's Edge by Kevin Daniel for Heaven and Earth Design. This is what it's going to look like when it is finished. It's for my son, loves ducks. Last weekend was the focus on a finish for Warriors, so I put in 1,002 stitches, and I'm now at 32.92%. It's stitched 1/1 on 28 count lichen gray, and I hope that's everything you need to know. Here we are. So it's coming along. I had first decided it was going to be a graduation gift. Now I've been saying it's a Christmas gift. It might be you've been out of school for 1 year gift. We'll see. So I kind of just pick a thread and go, but I know that this corner here is almost done. I worked on the blue down there, the 2 or 3 ducks down there, got some work, and this is what it looks like now. So what else? So that was that. So I did some work on my New Year start, January 1st start, which is October 31st by Cottage Garden Assemblings. Third piece I'm working on in the Time for All Seasons series. And here is where we are. It's stitched 1/2 on 36 count winter moon that I then dyed with tan, pearl gray, and denim blue. So it's stitched 1/2, and here we are. So got a nice bit of work done on the raven. Yeah, I really enjoy stitching on this, but I don't enjoy the pattern. I find the pattern, I don't know, I can't really explain it. Like, they're all different symbols, they're all different colors and all that, but I just find that I get lost in the pattern sometimes. But that's okay. But I also did a little bit there on the pumpkin in the lighter color. Then we have my temperature chart. I decided for the first time to do a temperature chart stitch with my son graduating high school this year. I thought it would be cool to look at the weather for this year. So this is the pattern I'm doing. It's the Rainbow Temperature Supernova by Climbing Goat Designs on Etsy. I was behind. Sharon made me feel guilty. So I've caught up to the end of April, but that means I'm still behind, but I'm hoping this week to get caught up. So I'm doing it 2/2 on 28 count black linen, which is very see-through, so I have to put a sheet behind it for you guys to see. So here is where I am so far. I really am enjoying all the different colors because I do this pattern calls to do the highs and lows. So and we also have a very varied temperature here, so we're all over the place. Like, the most I ever do is once in a while I've done 3 days in a row with the same thread, but not very often at all. So here is where we are for the last so for April and March and April, I guess. So some oranges in there. We still only have the one way back here in March, one red right there, but now it got up to 20 degrees a couple of times last week. So I expect a bit more red in here, but then it went down to like 5 degrees next. So we got 2 days in a row of 20 and then 5. And that's our weather. So then yesterday I spun my wheel because I wanted to do something different, and came up with Seasons in Chalk Art Spring by Kathy Haberman and Priscilla Blaine. It's from the April 2016 just cross stitch that I found at a thrift store. This is stitched 2/2 on 28 count Monaco that I dyed with a charcoal gray. So here's where we are. I did the white for the P, and then whatever little bit of thread I had left, I came down and started on the next flower. It is really eating up the chalk thread. I bought a second one. I actually have a third one but for another project, so I'm hoping I don't have to dig into that. And I know I don't have very wide margins, but I'm sure it will be fine on a mounting board or sticky. I don't use sticky board, I actually use cardboard, but there's that. Then on my last video, I said the following Wednesday I was going to be starting Christmas Wreath by Emma Condon, which is Stitch Rovia on Etsy. And I was looking at it and talking to a friend, and they're not really my Christmas colors. I'm a traditional red and green Christmas. So I think there's a couple of places there, like Peace on Earth and Xmas and maybe Joy. I might take those words out and just kind of maybe put some beads on those just so they're not plain, and maybe stick a few more beads somewhere else, just so that it could be more of a winter piece than a Christmas piece. I don't know, that's still like going around. So it's stitched 2/2 on 28 count white even weave. It's in Pattern Keeper, so I put in 1,235 stitches. I'm at 7.50%, and this is what we got done. And it was, you know, really easy to stitch following Pattern Keeper, and I like it. Oh, and the lighting is terrible, so hopefully you guys can see that pretty good. Bring it in. There we go. And the next Wednesday, yeah, the one in between what was supposed to be my videos, I started on Atlantic Seaboard Sampler by Jeanette Douglas. The picture is not very good. Once again, not a good pattern for stitching on while you're chatting with other people, so I didn't get a whole lot done. But here is where we are. So I got all of the cross stitching done in the house, the trees, the sun, and I got some of the leaves done, well, all of the leaves done on this tree. So I have to do the leaves on this tree, stitch a couple of bushes, the little walkway, and the sun needs the rays, and then that section, top section, is done. So not too bad. And then finally, of my starts up until today, was last Wednesday's, which was Autumn Creek. Oh, that's stitched on just a 28 count antique white. The X's are all done 2/2, but then there's lots of specialty stitches. Some are done 1/1, some are done 2/2. Anyway, so Bent Creek's Autumn Row, and like my lighting has just gotten terrible. Let me bring my lamp in. Hopefully you guys can see that. So this is stitched 2/2 on 28 count white even weave that I then dyed with a tan and golden yellow. So here is the progress I've got made on that. So all the way, oh, and I'm using the DMC, not the specialty. So all the way over to the H, pumpkins, bird, one leaf. There's another leaf under the H before I move on. So May is going to be a little bit different than my regular schedule, which is to start a piece on Wednesday and finish it on Tuesday and then start the next one on Wednesday, because I'm doing a birthday start today. So this one Autumn Row will do the Wednesday to Tuesday. I'm starting this one today, and I'm taking this one until my birthday start today until Saturday. But then I am starting my next regular one on Wednesday. So the three of them are kind of going to overlap until I get past next Saturday. Hopefully that makes sense. So there's that piece. Then we have my birthday start. Sorry, I'm missing something. Oh, I know why. Because this is not my first rodeo today, and I actually put it back over here. So my birthday start for today is Blackbird Designs 'Tis the Season. My favorite piece that I think I've ever seen. And thank you so much to my wonderful friend who sent me the Home for the Holidays book. And so this is a Sal. I have Amy from Renewing Stitches. Hey, I am trying to catch up on your videos. I'm way behind on everybody's videos, so you're not alone. And Lisa on Instagram are starting it with me today, hopefully. And then Michelle and Stephanie are working on their whips of it with me. And anybody else who has it in their stash, either as a whip or as I want to start that, join us. I decided on a hashtag. I know you can't follow them, but you can include it. and I can look and see if anyone else has it, and it's hashtag BBD Tis the Season Sal. And I will put that down below, and you can check mine out there on it on Instagram. So it's being stitched on 32 count stone gray, and I just put a little start. I measured and said, okay, well, this is where I'm starting, and I put a length of thread in this morning, and now I'm going to get started on it after I'm done with my video. And I actually converted the threads to Classic Colorworks. One just popped up within my pile, and I said, that's not a Classic Colorworks, so that goes with something else. I just want to make sure. Yeah. So these are the threads I decided on. All except for the cardinal. The cardinal is going to be doing so. So I'm doing baking tin, mariner's compass, candy corn, khaki mocha, English ivy, and pea pod. And then I'm doing the cardinal in Threadworks, and it's 1089. So those are my threads, and I can't wait to get started on it as soon as I'm done editing my video. And then on Wednesday, just to let you guys know, I am starting Teresa Kogut's For You, which is a pattern I won from Helen D 2 years ago, maybe. Just getting around and starting. So that is all my stitching progress and stuff. As far as haul, I just had some threads come in for one of my upcoming, or one or two, or 10. I don't know where these threads belong. They're all for patterns that I'm starting this year. So I got Freedom, which is really hard to see. Let me, because of the lighting has changed. Freedom, which is like a dark blue. I got Parchment. I got Rose Quartz. I got Honeysuckle. Cranberry Ice. Onyx. Persimmon. And Yukon Gold. So they will be fun threads to stitch with in whatever projects they belong with. And finally, last week I told you that my friend sent me a whole bunch of patterns, and I had one double, which was Snow Time, which is the fourth piece in A Time for All Seasons that I will be starting. I asked you to use the word snow in your comment, and Alana Needle 13751, and Alana, I believe, is here in St. John's. So you can message me your address, and I can email it, or we can arrange to meet somewhere and I can hand it to you. It's up to you. Just let me know. And I think that's everything. Like I said, I may be back next week to get back on track with a little short video, or I may wait 3 weeks to get back on track then. We'll see how much stitching I get done. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Happy Mother's Day again, and I'll see you next video. Bye.